All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about something that's becoming absolutely crucial in the world of AI, explainable AI. We're gonna lift the lid on what's often called the black box. And trust me, this is something you're gonna wanna understand.
So picture this. You've applied for a mortgage, right? Or maybe a car loan, a new job, and the answer comes back? Denied. You ask why, and the only response you get is, well, the computer said so. How frustrating is that? It's more than frustrating, it's a huge, huge problem. And it's the perfect example of why we have to talk about what's really happening inside these AI systems.
You see, the whole issue comes down to this idea of the black box. So many of the most powerful, most accurate AI models out there today, I'm talking about things like deep learning, are just incredibly complex. I mean, so complex that a lot of the time, even the brilliant people who built them can't trace the exact step-by-step logic for one specific decision. It just works. Okay, so let's break that down a little more. What exactly is an AI black box? What does that really mean is happening inside? So here's the simplest way to think about it. A black box AI is any system that gives you an answer, a prediction, a decision, whatever, but gives you zero clue as to how it got there. You can see the information that goes in, and you can see the final decision that comes out, but that whole process in the middle, it's a total mystery. It's a system that works, yeah, but it can't show you its math. But what if we could crack that box open? I mean, really shine a light inside. Well, that's where this really cool and honestly super important field comes into play. It's designed to do just that, to bring transparency to AI, and it's called Explainable AI. And this field is Explainable AI, or XAI for short. The best way to think about XAI is like a whole toolkit. It's a collection of different methods and frameworks, and their one and only job is to translate the super complex, messy inner workings of an AI into something that we, as humans, can actually look at and understand. It's all about turning that black box into more of a glass box.
And this comparison right here, it just nails the difference. A classic black box AI only answers the what question. What's the final decision? What's the prediction? But explainable AI, it answers the much, much more important question, why? Why was my loan denied? Why did the system flag this particular spot on a medical scan? It's really the difference between getting an order barked at you versus actually having a conversation.
So right about now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds like a cool feature for the tech nerds and developers, but honestly, the stakes are way, way higher than that. XAI isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's quickly becoming an absolutely critical, non-negotiable part of putting AI out into the real world. And this slide really lays out why. There are at least 6 huge reasons we just can't ignore the black box problem. Number 1, building trust. I mean, would you trust a doctor who couldn't explain their diagnosis? Same idea. 2, accountability. If an AI makes a mistake, who's on the hook? 3, regulations. We'll get to that in a second. 4, and this one is massive, finding and fixing bias. An AI can easily learn and even amplify human biases, and if we can't see its logic, we can't stop it. 5, it just makes for better teamwork between humans and AI. And finally, 6, it actually helps developers build better, more robust models in the first place. You put all that together, and you can see this isn't just a list, it's the blueprint for responsible AI. And yeah, about that point on regulations, this isn't just some philosophical debate happening inside tech companies. It's actually becoming the law. Governments and regulators are stepping in and basically saying, hey, if your automated system is making big decisions, you better be able to explain it. A perfect example of this is the EU's GDPR. That's the General Data Protection Regulation. It has a clause that's literally called a right to explanation. What that means is, if an automated system makes a major decision about you, like for a loan or a job, you legally have the right to be told the logic behind it. Think about that. Without XAI, how could a company possibly comply with that law? It'd be impossible. Okay, so we get what XAI is and why it's so incredibly important. But how does it actually work? Let's take a quick peek under the hood. And don't worry, we're not going to get buried in code or complex math here, just the big ideas. So generally speaking, there are 3 main ways to get to this transparency. First, you can just build models that are interpretable right from the get-go, like a simple decision tree. It's kind of like building an engine out of clear glass. You can see every single gear turning. The second way, for those really complex black boxes that already exist, is to use what are called post hoc explanation tools. These act like little detectives with cool names like Lime and Shab that come in after a decision has been made to investigate and figure out how it happened. And the third path is using visualization techniques.
This is where you create things like heat maps that basically act like a highlighter, showing you exactly which parts of the data the AI paid the most attention to.
So as we start to pull all this together, it becomes really clear that XAI isn't just some technical feature you bolt on at the end. It's a total shift in how we think about, design, and work with artificial intelligence. It's all about building that foundation of trust, of accountability, of collaboration. It's what transforms AI from this powerful but kind of mysterious tool into a partner that we can actually rely on and understand.
And that brings us to a really fascinating, kind of mind-bending final thought. As these AI systems get smarter and smarter, maybe even exponentially more complex than they are now, we have to ask ourselves, will explainable always mean understandable to us? I mean, can an intelligence that's vastly superior to our own ever truly explain its reasoning in a way that our human brains can fully comprehend? It's a huge question, and it really gets to the very core of what our future with this technology is going to look like. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.